This narrative delves into the dark legend of the composer, a serial killer who uses an old house as a trap for his victims. His signature is a disturbing childish jingle, which sounds sweet to listen to, but in reality, announces the imminent mortal fate of those who listen to it. This melody turns out to be the omen of death for those who fall into its trap. In a small town surrounded by the silence of the night, a distant echo breaks the quiet. A simple childish ditty, familiar yet distorted, wafts through the deserted streets, tracing the path of unimaginable terror. At the center of this story of blood, there is the composer, a murderer whose name derives from his sinister signature, a melody that precedes death. Legend has it that the composer takes his victims to an abandoned villa, once splendid, and now a monument to desolation. This building, shrouded in legends of past curses and tragedies, stands as a beacon to those lost in the night, only to become the final scene of their dramatic fate. As soon as they cross the threshold, victims find themselves trapped in a labyrinth of horrors, where each room tells tales of desperation and madness. The corridors twist into impossible patterns, and the shadows seem to move with a life of their own. But it is in the heart of the villa that the composer carries out his final act, a macabre ritual where life meets melody in a deadly duet. With each note, the tension grows. The once innocent death song becomes a hymn to fear, its playful motifs, now a harbinger of death. The victims, paralyzed by terror, find themselves helpless in the face of the fate that awaits them. And when silence falls, the only sound left is that of their last breath, drowned out by the melody that marked their end. The composer walks away, leaving behind only silence and death, while his music disperses in the wind, looking for the next victim. The villa, a silent witness to these atrocities, remains there, motionless and disturbing, a monument to the horror that hides behind the facade of normality. This is the tale of the deadly melody, a story that challenges the boundaries of fear and reminds us that sometimes true terror hides in the notes of a simple song, a sweet childish melody that sends a message of death. As the night progresses, the composer continues his sinister quest, wandering the streets in search of lost souls to lure into his deadly trap. His figure, shrouded in mystery, becomes increasingly feared, an omen of death hovering over the city. No one knows where he comes from or what his true intentions are, but everyone knows the fate of those who cross his path. The villa, with its cracked walls and broken glass, holds the darkest secrets. As you pass from room to room, you can hear the whispers of the souls who have been trapped there, echoes of terror permeating the air. The composer, in his macabre studio, refines his craft, creating increasingly disturbing melodies, each a masterpiece of death destined to capture the next victim. With the light of dawn, the city awakens from its nightmare, but the memory of the night persists, a constant reminder of the danger that lurks in the darkness. Fear creeps into everyone's lives, a thin thread of terror that affects the tranquility of the community. But the question remains, who will be the next victim of the composer? The deadly melody is a call that no one can ignore, a fate waiting around the corner, ready to strike when you least expect it. In this tale of suspense and horror, we are aware of the dark power of fear and the ability of a simple sound to transform into a herald of death. This is the story we will continue to tell, a warning to those who dare to listen to the melody of darkness. But what do you think? How would you react if in the distance you heard the composer's death melody resonating? If you liked the video, put a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next stories, because this is Midnight Horror, stories of blood.